Welcome back to JNP Project YouTube channel and podcast. I'm the host, Miki Miura. I'm a family nurse practitioner in the United States. In this channel, we're going to talk about everything about how to become a nurse practitioner in the United States, how to be successful as an international student, how to build amazing nursing career so that you can obtain the life that you dreamed of. Before we're going to get into today's topic, which is becoming a nurse practitioner the right decision for you? Just want to mention that we are giving out a free online lesson to teach you my seven secrets to make time for the things you love. I actually have 4 jobs. I have my own online business. And then I work at 3 clinical practices as a nurse practitioner. Sometimes I teach a nurse practitioner students, new grad nurse practitioner. Sounds a lot, right? But I get to serve like 3-4 times a week. 3-4 times. 3-4 times a week. I get to serve after work, before work. I go on vacation at least every 3-4 months or even more often. And people ask me, how do you find time? They always ask me, how do you find time? And you seems really happy. And how do you do that with 4 jobs? So in this free online lesson, I talk about all the secrets, the 7 secrets. This is going to be 38-minute of on-demand video. So you can, if you have to go somewhere in the middle, you can stop and you can go back. You can watch it so many times. But this is going to be jam-packed with the information and the secrets of how to manage time efficiently and effectively. So you can have time for things you love, like could be surfing, it could be vacation, could be travel, could be massage, could be yoga, could be eating out with your friends. So I'm sharing my secrets for free. If you sign up for our email list, so it's free. Everything's free. So how you sign up for the email list is this website, usa.jnpproject.com/free lesson. There's no space in between free lesson. So usa.jnpproject.com/FREELESSON free lesson without the space in between free and lesson. If you're watching YouTube, I'll put that the link below. But I'm hoping that you're not going to miss this opportunity to learn about the secrets of getting the lifestyle that you love and you dreamed of. It's all about the time management. And I'm giving out this free lesson, so don't miss out. But let's get into today's topic. Okay, so today's topic is becoming a nurse practitioner the right career decision for you? Everybody has different career pathway, and let's make sure that your career decision is right for you particularly. If becoming a nurse practitioner is your goal, your dream, that's what you really want to do, wonderful. I'm so excited for you. We have a lot of videos, podcast episodes, and resources, bootcamp. We have a lot of things to help you to succeed in your nurse practitioner career. But becoming a nurse practitioner is not for everyone. I don't want to be a party pooper, but before you dive into nurse practitioner program and pour your money, time, and effort, let's just make sure that this is your career pathway. Because I know some nurse practitioners who became a nurse practitioner, and after they graduate from the program, they realize that nurse practitioner is not what they want to do, and they go back to registered nurse's job. So let's just make sure this is the right decision. And there are 4 things to think about before entering a nurse practitioner program. Number 1 is becoming a healthcare provider what you want to do? As a nurse practitioner, we constantly make decisions, like decisions on diagnoses for patients' conditions, decision on which tests to order, blood tests, imaging, like X-ray, ultrasound, MRI. We also make decision on which treatment or which medicine, what dosage, how often to take, how long the treatment should be, how soon we should follow up with the patient, or whether we should send patient to the hospital, hospitalized or ER, or which specialist we send to. We constantly make decisions as a leader of a healthcare team versus for registered nurse. And I was a registered nurse. I'm still a registered nurse by license, but I haven't worked as a registered nurse for almost 10 years. And I worked as a registered nurse in Japan, in the United States, in acute care setting and in outpatient setting. And their jobs are so needed, so important. We respect registered nurse so much. They work so hard, and very appreciative of their dedication. But what registered nurses do are different from what nurse practitioners do. Registered nurse implement care safely, effectively. They monitor patients' responses, assess patients' conditions. So what registered nurses do and what nurse practitioners do are very, very different, although we're both nursing professional. There's something that overlap, like we're very good at patient education, communication, stuff like that. But there are things that are very different. And both positions, registered nurse and nurse practitioners, both are very, very important for healthcare, but they're just so different. So, you want to consider if those decision making is something that you want to do, if that being a leader in a healthcare team is something that you want to do. Second thing to think about is if you are expecting more pay by becoming a nurse practitioner. If making more money is more important for you, which, by the way, is nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong. I myself too, I want to make sure I want to, treat my family, give them make sure that when they need something, I can support them. I want to make sure that I can survive my retirement. So I'm really concerned about my retirement life because I live in Hawaii and things are so expensive. And I just want to make sure I'm going to be financially independent when I get older, even after retirement. So money is important. And but something to think about is in some states, registered nurses may get paid better than nurse practitioners. Depends on where they work, or if they're like more specialized nurse, like travel nurse, IV nurse, and flight nurse, and so on. In fact, in Hawaii, I know multiple nurse practitioners who worked as a registered nurse before nurse practitioner program, and they actually made more as a registered nurse compared to, their pay as a nurse practitioner. There are so many benefits of becoming a nurse practitioner that I discussed about in a different episode. But if you think that, well, when to become a nurse practitioner, I have to get additional degree, master's, doctorate, and you might think that it's guaranteed you're gonna get paid more because you are required to have a higher degree, but that's not necessarily true. So just want to make sure that you know that the fact. And there's so many other ways for nurses to make excellent pay. Like I said, like a travel nurse and stuff like that. And then you don't even have to go back to grad school to spend so much money for tuition. So you want to think about the long term. Another thing to think about is how you will plan to use the degree. And especially, a lot of nurse practitioner students go to DNP program. And for myself, when I graduated from nurse practitioner program about 10 years ago, there was no DNP program in Hawaii. So I went to master's program and I graduated. And I worked as a nurse practitioner for 3 years. Then I decided to go back to school for DNP degree. And when I talked about that to my boss, who is also a nurse practitioner, she really thought of me and then asked me this question: what's your plan to use that degree? Because she thought that I shouldn't just go back to school just because I just feel like I feel pressure to go back to school, or just because I can, or I shouldn't waste my time, money, and effort just because, there's so many other ways to use them meaningfully. And for me, I always wanted to teach. I was considering about becoming professor, which is still possible. And but also I was, thinking of teaching internationally. I didn't know that I'm going to do online business and teaching project like this at the time, but I was thinking of teaching in Japan and in the United States, and I thought that DNP degree will give me credential. And in fact, that because I had DNP degree, I had multiple offers for nursing faculties, and I haven't taken those positions yet, because I decided I'm going to do this project. But for me, it was worth it to go back to school for a DNP degree. But you don't want to just go back to school just because, or just because you have extra time, just because you feel like it's been years since you worked as a nurse, and you just feel kind of pressured by surrounding people that you should do something more, or there are so many other ways to utilize those resources for a more meaningful way, if you don't really have a plan to use your degree. So that's another thing to think about. Another thing is, I think getting like business degree, like MBA, or like getting more knowledge in finance might be really, really helpful and beneficial for some people's life. I even thought about going back to school for MBA, which I end up not doing, and I actually took online courses about marketing, which was very, very interesting and helpful. But it wasn't like grad school. It was more online program, which was really, really, I'm so glad that I made that decision. But I think we passed the era that just going back to school and get the degree guarantee you the better life. You have to have a real purpose of using the degree. Fourth thing to think about is if there is any other way to utilize your money, time, and effort better. Again, going back to school, getting additional degree doesn't guarantee you're going to be happier, doesn't guarantee that you're going to get paid better. In fact, my pay didn't change at all after I got the DNP degree, not even 1 cent. So doesn't guarantee, it's not going to guarantee you. And in fact, you pay for tuition, so you lose money. So you want to really, and maybe if becoming a nurse practitioner or getting DNP degree don't really end up not changing your life, maybe you should go on a trip and go around the world, and that might change your life for good, like way better. Who knows? But it all depends on that person. What's really important for you. So I know a lot of people say, oh, it's been years since you worked as a nurse. Are you planning to go back to grad school, become a nurse practitioner? some nurses may feel like that's the pathway they should go. But you know what? We need nurses. Registered nurses are wonderful. And we need them so desperately. And you should figure out what's best for you, what makes you happy, what you're really looking for in your life. And of course, if you decide to become a nurse practitioner, welcome to the community. I'm so excited for you. Hopefully you watch other episodes as well, because it's going to be very helpful for your nurse practitioner career. That's all for this episode. I hope this is helpful for you. I wish you all the best, and I hope you're going to make the best decision for yourself. And I'll talk to you in the next episode. Aloha.